on the
Give
watch.
me a little nod for when he's here. Just was watching some of Tua's press conference during the break. A lot of
They
concussion
really
questions.
go after him, man.
A lot of
Why?
concussion questions.
I get
How many
it.
concussions have you had? What do you think about the long-term effects? It's like,
Yeah. You know why?
What?
Because guess what?
Hmm?
All those people sitting in there asking all these concussion questions, if Tua were to say right now, I'm retiring because I worry about the risk, how many of those people still blast him?
fans would. I think. I mean, we saw with Andrew Luck, right? And Andrew Luck, he just kind of left.
Well, he was
fans
he
booed
was,
him off the field.
He was banged up.
Yeah, he was beat up.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it was just concussions, but just being beat up in general. And the fan base booed him off the field.
Right.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Indianapolis, you're getting closer to Philly. You don't realize it.
Just yeah. Well, with crazy owner and
Well, they
bastard
booed.
fans.
Remember they booed Michael Irving.
Philly fans, yeah.
Philly fans.
Yeah.
They didn't know he was that hurt. I would say that, but still, he looked.
I wouldn't put it past Philly.
They booed Santa Claus.
The Raptors fans, didn't they? They cheered the whole thing. Oh.
Assuming Burns still having some technical issues.
Yeah,
it's all right. Whenever he wants to come on, he's allowed to. Because any man that can punch your face very, very, very hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say whatever he wants.
He's allowed to come on whenever. I did see recently, speaking of Philly fans, there was a video of a guy who got arrested because he was running like he did. You know how the teams run out of the I want to say hallway, but I feel like that's not correct. When the teams run out on the field, one of the fans snuck in and was apparently running with the rest of the Eagles players. Leroy, has any fan ever stormed the field while you were on like you were in the middle of the games to the point where you're like, do I got to tackle this guy?
Oh no. There was a guy who it was like 10 degrees. He was down in his tighty whities.
What?
And he tried to make a run for it.
Really?
Does that frustrate you as a player? Are you like, come on, we have football to play, or is it
because he got to about the 15-yard line and somebody took him out. And I'm gonna tell you, it was a good form tackle. It was just like, wow.
Huh.
Was it?
I've seen fans come on the field and players clothesline them.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Like that's not because look, fans have been booing you for a whole season. One of them runs on the field. You're not gonna get in trouble.
No,
you're just helping out security.
No, you're just helping. Yeah. Although, didn't one fan didn't Bobby Wagner do that recently?
Oh, he did.
And wasn't the fan trying to
sue? Yeah, he was
sue or something like that.
Yeah,
don't go on the field.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Like
good luck on the field.
But again, it's like, you pay to enjoy these athletes. That's where it ends. You can enjoy them, you can boo them, you can whatever. But for some reason, they think that ticket entitles them to more.
Have you ever Lambeau leaped? You ever gone after a touchdown? You just hop into the fans?
No. I ain't doing that. You asking for it. That's their thing. You asking for it. But that's what made what Randy Moss did so hilarious.
Yeah.
It wasn't the only person that thought it was disgusting
was Joe Buck.
Buck.
He was mortified.
Because see, and here's the problem. When you stand on your soapbox and take that stand, people don't realize that when you pull up to the stadium when you leave the hotel, go to the stadium, there's 3 buses, right? There's 3 buses, about 45 players, coaches, training staff, and we have to get off to the bus to about 400 ass cheeks. Right.
There's people just
mooning. Yes.
Just mooning.
Yeah. So when Randy Moss faked like he was mooning, everybody knew what it was. It was funny to everybody.
And it wasn't that bad. I've seen way worse.
Hey, let's go to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 toys indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Gilbert Burns, one of the best UFC welterweights on the planet, joining us here. What's going on, Gilbert? Thanks for joining us, man.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Just finished my session right here. I'm here at Kill Cliff FC here in Deerfield Beach. I was just training over there. Just finished. Just done with the session.
When are we gonna see you back, Gilbert? Like, listen, who the hell wants to fight you? You're scary as hell. Like, do you have a matchup in mind? When do you think we'll see you back in there?
It's supposed to be December 10th. It's like a lot of talks to be against Jorge Masvidal in December 10th Vegas, but I just got a notice from the UFC last week that they're gonna push me to the Brazil card. They have a UFC Brazil January 21st, so they want me on that card. I think it's gonna be against Masvidal. It's nothing signed yet, but that's what everything's pointing to that direction, and I hope that's true. So January 21st, I'm back in Brazil in Rio.
Is it frustrating having the date move like that when you're getting ready for a certain date and now you're talking about almost a month and a half later?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Everything was in place. It's just the way we do now. I try to be very professional as a football guys. So what I do a pre-camp base. So I gotta get the base. So it's a lot of phase. I was on the strength phase and start going a little bit to the other phase and training super hard. And then they gotta slow down a little bit. Kind of gotta go back to the base, do more strength. Do more boxing, more fundamentals. The only good thing that my parents just got not a visa decline. They got declined for the visa to come to the US that for the second time. So they as of right now they not be able to come. At least they're gonna watch me fighting in Brazil.
Okay.
That's cool.
That was the good news. That was the good news.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not a lot of celebration. Christmas, one fight this year, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
So Gilbert, you've been like, I've seen you all over social media being like, really supporting the Dolphins this year. Like, been in South Florida for a long time. Have you been a Dolphins fan for a while? Have you gotten more into it over the past couple of years? Like, because your fandom, you took the whole family there last week to the game. Like, how much, like, how and when did you get so into the Dolphins?
My kids love flag football, So, and then I'm that kind of parent. If they love the sport, I'm gonna support my kids as much as I can, So I've been getting my kids to the season, and then last year, I think it was a year before we started going to the games. I even met the Brazilian guy that used to play over there, K. Ross. I don't know if you guys are familiar. He's not there anymore, but he was there. So I met him, went to a couple games. But my kids are addicted, brother. My kids like. And my wife too. So last week I was there in the game supporting, especially they in love with Tyreek Hill and Tua. Like they crazy. They know everything. Hey, Tua got hurt. He got concussion. Gonna be that time out. You should text him, daddy. Tell him to do hyperbaric chamber, the thing that you do to recover. Fighters does get concussion. So they all into it. So yeah, it's kind of like if my kids like the sport so much, I gotta support. And then I'm kind of getting more used to with the players, with the game. Now I'm more familiar. I was soccer, I was a soccer fan since my growing up in Brazil. I know all the soccer, I know all the players, but football, I'm living here in South Florida, especially. September was 9 years that I'm living in here. But the last 4 years, I would say I would start kind of becoming a football fan. Then my kids playing the game. Now I gotta get more into. But the last 3-4 years, I'm more into Miami Dolphins.
That's awesome. What did you make of the whole Tua concussion thing? Because as a fighter, you are an expert at taking shots in the head and having to recover from that.
That's called round 2.
Yeah, like everybody became like concussion experts and all that. As a guy who deals in a very dangerous sport, seeing what happened to him and just the reaction to it, what did you just make of the whole process with him?
Shit, it's two things. You gotta recover good. That's you cannot play with the health, especially with the brain. It's one of the important thing in your body is your brain. So you gotta take care of. I know for sure all the NFL guys, they're very smart. And then one thing that a lot of fighters do when they got a concussion, when they get knocked out, they start doing a lot of hyperbaric chamber. And today we have a lot of technology that helps on that recovery. So I don't know if you're gonna see that, but two little things that a lot of fighters do: PEMF therapy, hyperbaric chamber, and they do a lot of all the oils. They do so much CBD, the omega-3, krill oil, all those type of oils help in that recovery. So, and you gotta take a little time off. It is what it is, So I want him back. So as a fan, I want him back. But being an athlete, I know he gotta be back whenever is his time, whenever he's ready. So you got to do a lot of recovery now. I think those hyperbaric chamber, PEMF therapy, all those therapy kind of improves your recovery. So, but I want him to be good. I think football is hard, bro, because the difference that I put when you fighting a guy in your division. So I'm a 170-pound fighter. I fight a welterweight division. The guy that is a day before weighing in, so day of the fight gonna be like 10 to 15 pounds over. So the guy is gonna be 185, kind of my weight. It's a fair fight. In a football, if you put a football guy, I have a freaking Francis Ngannou on top of me running,
Yeah.
and maybe another one. So it's kind of
Yes.
not fair, So
Yeah.
so he gotta take his time in recovery because he's dangerous, bro. I as an athlete, I'm a big fan of these guys because it's not an easy work. People think, oh, it's just a game. No, bro, it's your life. Every single time, like it can take away from you. Those guys coming, running, tackling you is dangerous. So all my respect to Tua and these guys, and I hope they recover fast.
Talking to Gilbert Burns, one of the best UFC welterweights on the planet. Monster card coming up this weekend, Gilbert. Are you gonna do you sit down when not fighting? Does Gilbert Burns sit around as a fan? Like, are you gonna watch this pay-per-view? And I guess how excited are you between Islam versus Charles Oliveira and Aljamain versus TJ? We had Sean O'Malley on yesterday, so we're excited for that one versus Jan. Do you enjoy cards when not fighting? Do you watch as a fan?
I watch every time as a fan. I'm a fan of the sport. Like I said, my kids play basketball, they play football, they do jiu-jitsu, so they love the fight. So we're gonna have a UFC watch party at my brother's academy here in Lantana, Florida. So I'm gonna be there watching. I rather fight, than watch it, but for sure Sunday, I'm looking forward to go to the Dolphins and Steelers. That's a good one. I think it's gonna be a tough one, but I'm looking forward to that game too. But yeah,
I'm busy sports weekend.
Yeah, when I'm not fighting, I'm crazy with the sports. I'm looking all the way around, watching soccer, NFL, and NBA when they get the playoffs. All the sports. I'm a sport guy.
Well, we appreciate the time, man. Had a lot of fun with you, Gilbert. We can't wait to watch you fight back in January. You versus Masvidal sounds like a hell of a fight. A lot of fun, and can't wait to see you back in the cage, man. Thanks for giving us some time.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
There you go. Gilbert Burns.
Ooh, Masvidal.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Tough one for Masvidal.
He's a legit fan too. I like that.
I know.
He's not like for fun. Like
that's the first he came.